What's up, G's? My name is Zavai. I'm a seven-figure Chinese autistic pay-per-lead media buyer, and as you can see, in the last we spent around 100 grand since the start of May. It's one of our accounts that I'm allowed to show, and specifically, what we're going to be covering is how to actually have a 90% win rate when creating ads, right? Because essentially the system I'm about to show you is what every high level pay-per-lead media buyer does, because they go into the most competitive and saturated spaces on this planet and they recreate the top ads for their own vertical using the framework. So we're going to be analyzing some of the ads in the car accident insurance space, which is one of the most competitive in America, right, and potentially in the world because of how lucrative it is. A lead goes for 250 to $400 depending on geography as well as location. And as you can see, we've produced them here for like 150 bucks. Right. So it's a pretty decent margin and quite lucrative as well if you know how to do it right. Now, these people that are there are big fish, right? Because I myself am just a baby shark. We're just getting started here and documenting all the raw, unfiltered content and helping you to transition from whatever business model you are in to pay per lead. Because you've probably realized that Alex Hormozi was right. The business vehicle is of great importance, and you might be like a high level entrepreneur just stuck in a retainer or unleveraged business model. Now, specifically, if we take a look at all of these ads, we can see that a lot of UGC, right? We're on this tool called Foreplay. There are free tools I would recommend using. AdSpy, which actually allows you to go on the ads and find comments in the ads, which is really great for getting to know what the consumers think of it, right? Because if you're having an ad that is winning, but you have a lot of spam comments, they're saying this is bullshit, this is like garbage, this is fake, right? Then the ad might not produce good leads. So this is what pay-per-lead agency owners actually automate now these days. They go into these comments, they scrape the whole thing so they can get market research for their specific vertical. But that's already some high-level ninja stuff. Now, specifically, I'm using Foreplay right now because it's actually really good as well. It has a wide range of 200 million ads, and you can see the ads that were already running like 2-3 years ago, but have been discontinued that you cannot find on the regular Facebook ad library. So the common consensus as you filter on the last 30 days, they've been exactly running for 30 days because then you know an ad actually performed if it's been up for that long. Not in all of the cases, but in 80 to 85%.
Do I have to sue the other driver after a car accident to get the most money?
So this is a hook that you see like 100 times in this particular space just because it works. And the high level players are essentially making automations to scrape all of these hooks, something that I'm figuring out myself right now. Right. So with this actress, she has a very creative format and it's not AI.
Money possible? So no, a lot of people don't know this, but there's a way better way to get a bigger check after a car accident without having to go to court or pay expensive upfront legal fees. It's through this.
So specifically this script, right, where it's basically reversing the risk. No, you don't need to do the stuff you don't like. You don't need to pay all these fees. It's been used in a lot of different frameworks and highly animated ads with a lot of, like crazy viral clips stitched together with a 11 labs dark, deep tone voice overlay, right? Some of you guys know what I mean out there, but specifically people are basically using winning scripts and reformatting it into different concepts of creativity. The environment and the framework matters a lot. And this specific framework is a killer because you're seeing like two people that are the same person talk to each other. It's kind of interesting, right? Even a higher format than podcast videos, I would say. So that's really cool.
Car accident compensation website and their action, which means you qualify. No more money problems, no more stress.
So basically giving all of the different benefits as opposed to the risks, right? So there's that contrast. In advertising, a lot is about pointing out the benefits to an extreme as well as reversing the risk.
So you can see in seconds below, if you qualify, it takes a couple of seconds.
Takes a couple of seconds, doesn't take too long,
Yes, they are injured from the car accident, qualify for significantly.
So this is a more creative environment as well. I've seen it recycled a lot. Is where basically she would pick up a phone and actually call, right? So on the back end, what happens is either people have somebody in house, these large agencies doing over 1 million a month, or they hire UGC actresses, and for such a video, it may cost $200, $300 because it's more like acting, right? For a normal talking head video, that might cost $50 to $150 depending on the actress.
Large compensation than what the insurance company wants to pay.
What? No way!
Congratulations, the attorney says the first check will be made.
So this is actually also a pretty creative ad because the guy on the phone is probably the agency owner, and he's just calling her in a French fucking accent to basically tell her that she got money, right? And this positive reaction is something that gets recycled throughout the industry as well. That's what people essentially want, right? To get this money, to have this like check, after they like been in a car accident, they had to pay their medical bills. Insurance basically offered them like nothing. They lowballed because insurance, right, is trying to pay you as little as possible, so they usually get lowballed. That's why you have all of these ads trying to connect these people who've been in accidents so they can get more money than the check or settlement that insurance is offering them, right? And typically it could be 2 3 times and even sometimes 5 times larger than what insurance offers. And it really depends on your case. This specific industry I would not recommend for beginners because it's like you need to be autistically good at media buying or you're gonna get eaten alive by people spending like $300,000, $200,000 a single day. The top G in this industry even fucking released a book, and he's like cracked because I don't know. I guess like some dads are just like cracked. He built his business like in 5 years, spent 200 million on ads, like pretty legendary shit. But anyways, this specific like format, right, can also be copied into any other industry that is money related, which is like basically the founder or like an actor acting it out and just going to a machine and actually, like I said, making sure you see the positive reaction, right? Making sure that this like surge of dopamine that you could actually get this check and this huge settlement comes through. So that's why people click it a lot.
Bro, $100,000? There's no way that just worked. I just got $100,000 for that car accident.
Bro, you got $100,000 for a car?
All I had to do.
Like basically to just make sure that they really see the reaction. And sometimes it might be very over exaggerated, but that's what captures attention on these social media platforms. And specifically, he's also reversing the risk, right? 5 questions, I don't need to do anything, it takes 1 second and you can get all of this upside, right? I just got 100 grand. But what they don't know usually is in the industry it takes up to 8 months to settle a case, so that money takes some time and it's obviously not guaranteed that you get it, right?
Yes, your injury from the car accident qualified for a significant.
So this is one actress that you can actually find on Fiverr. She's one of the best in the industry. So a lot of these actresses, right, are also recycled throughout. A lot of people use them because they're very good at what they do. Being able to do these talking head videos is a skill. Not everybody can do it, right? It's just like me and you talking on camera right now.
Significantly larger compensation than what the insurance company wanted to pay.
What?
So this one is also like, hey, I got crazy amount, like this lawyer is phoning me, and people are curious because this type of environment works, right? That's why you see so many people in their cars. So you need to be able to pick up such intricate details as a media buyer and replicate it for your own ads, because every single dollar that you're spending on ads, right, is basically a manifestation of how artistically good you are at understanding the consumer psychology and the industry trends. Now, this one is kind of cracked. This is by like the goat of the industry, probably, and I've never seen this before, so I'm probably also going to remake it for myself in different and try to improve upon it, right? You should not only you should never copy ads, you should make better ads than them. And this one is like kind of a really bad AI generated thing. And I would probably put like a viral news thing here to make it seem more legit, but that's that. And then you have this actor. He's like an OG on Fiverr, which is a freelancing platform. This guy has filmed thousands of podcast ads. He's been seen a few 100 million times because one of the car accident ads on YouTube actually got over 200 million views or 100 million views with that specific actor on this specific brand. They do like a few million, like for 25 or something like that on YouTube, and probably also a really, really big company. But essentially, the legal industry in the US for paper lead is one of the most competitive and brutal, harder to break into, but very lucrative in. If you have any questions about that or want personalized guidance, please do DM me on Instagram. I am autistically extroverted, as you would tell. And you have a lot of talking heads, right? Podcast always works. Like the split screen is also a nice format. UGC, right? And then you'll kind of get a feel of what's working in an industry. And this is also applicable cross industry. What I do personally, and what I also recommend you to do, is to make a list of all the best media buyers on the planet, right, that you've came across, because they have good ad frameworks that you can copy and utilize and reframe for yourself. This is a lot of gold in such an industry. This is the gold I'm talking about. Really fucking cracked guy. Angelo is his name. He released a book as well. This is like the Hormozi of my industry, so to say. And I hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, we got the largest Telegram group chat in Paper Lead, as well as the Skool community you can check out, right? I don't invite spam there, so the quality is quite high. Also, follow the channel if you don't want to lose it.